One Leaf Commander NV500 series of rifle scopes now have a choice of 3 lens options. These are 30mm, 50mm and 70mm lenses. With the NV500, this gives a 2x zoom as standard with the 30mm lens, a 4x standard zoom with the 50mm lens, and a 6x zoom with the 70mm lens. Both scopes also have 8x digital zoom. This means that with the standard 30mm lens on the NV500, you'll get between 2 to 16x zoom. You'll get 4 to 32x zoom with a 50mm lens, and with the 70mm lens you'll get 6 to 48x zoom. With the NV500 Eagle, zoom parameters are slightly lower. These are 1.5 times to 12 times with a 30mm lens, 2 to 16 times with a 50mm lens, and 4.5 to 36 times with a 70mm lens. These options may determine which scope you might choose for different shooting environments. The NV500 Eagle is probably the one for close range shooting, for ratting, etc. Where you want a maximum field of view, the standard NV500 is best for longer range, such as foxing and deer over 100 yards. Although again, if you are doing target shooting and want the maximum zoom, then the standard NV500 could also be the one for you. So what I'm going to do now is compare the 3 different lenses through the standard NV500 scope. I'll be doing the standard zoom, the lowest zoom, and I'll be also doing the maximum zoom with each lens, so you'll see what the field of view is like. So let's get on with the test. Right, hello folks, I've got everything set out for me now. Rectum X Pretensis, on top of it I've got the One Leaf NV500, the standard scope. I've not got the NV500 Eagle with me at the moment, that's at Solware, they're having a look at it. So what I've got in front of me now are the 3 lens options. What makes this scope stand out above all the other scopes on the market is it's built more like an SLR camera. You can add to it. So if you've not got the money to buy everything all in one go, you can add the laser rangefinder to it at a different time later on. You can start off with the cheapest lens, which would be the 30mm lens. You can work your way up as you can add to it, or you can just buy it all in one go. So I was going to start off with a 30mm lens. I'm going to do a view down at 22 yards, and we'll see the field of view as standard. So what I'm going to do is start off with then, just put on the 30mm lens. You've got protective caps on both ends, so you can take that off. You can fit a sunshade if you're pointing into the sun, which we are doing at the moment. So on the side here, it's basically a bayonet clipping. So that's clipped on, that is on there. Also what I've got with me, fitted to the scope, is one of the additional mounts that you can buy. This is a quick release mount. You do get a standard mount with them, which is basically finger bolts. So that's your basic mount, and then you've got the quick release mount. They also do a smaller quick release mount that's probably about 2 inches long, so you can fit that to it as well if you want. Obviously that's got a cantilever to it, so it can come further back. This one's just a standard clip-on mount. Both available as optional extras online. Just check the website out. But if you are moving between different rifles, cantilever one and the quick release is a good one to get. So first off, going to switch on the scope. Coming back as 22.3 yards. Okay, so this is a 30mm lens at 2 times. So if you look to the top left hand side, you'll see 1 time, so it's basically 2 times zoom at that. If you look at the bottom, it says 2 times lens, so 2 times zoom as it is at 22 yards. And using the wheel on top, you can come in so that is 8 times zoom. So that is the IS magnification. So that's 16 times basically on that. We'll look at that again, try and focus in a bit better. I think we're about there. So that's 16 times. Back to 2 times. So that is a field of view at 22 yards. Yeah, I've got things in the foreground there. So that is 4 times zoom. It's quite a nice reticle there. That went on easy. So what I've done, I've gone straight up to the 70mm lens. So we've gone all the way from 30 to 70. I'm a bit of trouble getting the 51 on for some reason. So if you look at the top left, it says 1 times. If you look at the bottom, it says 6 times. So that's basically 6 times zoom there. That is 12 times. And that's 48 times zoom. So let's see if I can clear the image a bit. There we go. So looking at that, when it's fully zoomed in at 22 yards or 48 times, you've got about 1 foot of field of view. And looking at that at 22 yards with a 70mm lens, you've probably got about 5 or 6 foot, maybe 6 foot, because some of that stuff's in the foreground. That's what we call a zoom in. 48 times on a pigeon. So that's 6 times as standard. Twelve times. And it's gone. So as you can see, there's the two views. On the left you've got the 30mm lens, on the right you've got the 70mm lens. So field of view with 30mm lens at 22 yards at 2 times, you've probably got about 20 feet of view. And then zoomed in, that comes right down to probably about 2.5 to 3 feet at 16 times. Looking at the 70mm lens, the top end of the scale, at 6 times, 22 yards there, so probably about 8 feet field of view, and at the top one around 1 foot to 10 inches, something like that. So that just shows you between the 30mm lens and the 70mm lens, the kind of field of view you're going to get as standard and what you're going to get at full zoom. And this is at 22 yards. So basically it's all down to yourself really what you'd use a scope for. Obviously the 50mm lens for somewhere in between. So that's it for now. I'm going to show you some video of me zeroing the rifle in with a 70mm lens, and hopefully we'll get down to the range and probably do some hunting or nighttime shooting as well. Yeah, we're on. Let's go for the 8. Probably come down just a bit tad there.
here. Okay. Right. Got a point of aim now. Nice. Oh, another one. Oh. Nice little group there in windy conditions, so happy with that. On 0.